When adult children use your grandchildren against you. The birthday you were not invited to. There is a pain that does not look dramatic from the outside. No shouting, no police, no broken dishes. Just a grandparent sitting alone, looking at a photo online. A birthday cake. A child smiling. Candles on the table. And you were not invited. Nobody called. Nobody explained. Nobody even gave you the chance to say, "I love you." That is when you realize the fight has changed. This is not just distance anymore. This is punishment with a child's face on it. Your adult child knows you can survive a cold text. They know you can survive silence. But your grandchildren? That is where your heart has no armor. And sometimes that is exactly where they press. When a boundary becomes a weapon, they may call it a boundary, and sometimes it is. A parent has the right to protect their home, their marriage, and their children. Maybe you did push too hard. Maybe you gave advice nobody asked for. Maybe you said something that hurt more than you understood. That part cannot be erased. But there is a line. A real boundary protects peace. A weapon creates fear. If they say, "We need space to heal," that is one thing. If they say, "Obey us, agree with us, apologize exactly the way we demand," or you lose the grandchildren, that is not healing. That is control. And when children become the price of obedience, love turns into leverage. The panic trap. This is where many grandparents lose their footing. They panic. They send the long message. They explain the sacrifices. They bring up money, babysitting, holidays, hospital visits, years of help. And maybe every word is true. But truth said in panic can still be used against you. One angry message becomes a screenshot. One desperate call becomes proof. One emotional visit becomes the story they tell later. See? This is why we keep the kids away. That is the trap. The more you chase, the more they can call you controlling. The more you beg, the more power they feel. So the question is not, how do I make them understand? The question is, how do I make sure my pain does not become their evidence? Because if they already made you the villain, do not hand them the costume. When someone else rewrites the story. Sometimes your adult child does not sound like your adult child anymore. The words are different. The tone is different. Suddenly, every old family moment has a new label. You were not worried. You were toxic. You were not trying to help. You were interfering. You were not trying to stay close. You were unsafe. Maybe a spouse helped them see pain your family avoided for years. That can happen. But sometimes the new family system needs one villain. And you are the easiest person to cast. Every visit becomes a test. Every holiday becomes a vote. Every grandchild becomes proof of who has power now. That is why this cuts so deep. You are not only losing time with the children, you are watching your place in the family be rewritten while you are not allowed to answer. Do not fight through the children. This is the line you cannot cross. Do not make the grandchildren carry your pain. Do not ask them what their parents say. Do not send secret messages. Do not turn their childhood into your courtroom, because one day they may remember more than anyone thinks. They may remember who stayed calm, who stayed kind, who did not make them choose. And if they ever ask what happened, your life should answer before your words do. My grandparent was hurt, but they did not use me back. That may not open the door today, but it protects the only thing they cannot take from you: your dignity. Send one clean message. Not a speech, not a trial, not a final goodbye. One clean message. I respect your role as the parent. I want a peaceful relationship with you and the children. I am willing to talk about what needs to change. But I will not accept threats, insults, or using the children as punishment. Then stop. Do not add 10 paragraphs. Do not reopen the whole past. Do not beg them to feel guilty. A clean message gives them a door. A messy message gives them ammunition. And right now, ammunition is the last thing you should give. The hard truth. Some adult children keep distance because they are protecting their family. Some keep distance because they lack control. Some do both and may never admit which part is bigger. You may never get a fair conversation. You may miss birthdays you should have been part of. You may see photos of moments that should have included you. That pain is real. But do not let it turn you into the person they describe. Do not become bitter enough to prove their story. Do not become desperate enough to lose yourself. Because if the door opens one day, the person standing there should still be you. Not a beggar. Not a soldier. Not a villain. A grandparent with love in their hands and boundaries in their voice. Not because it did not hurt, but because even when they used the children as a weapon, you refused to become one. This is the if verse, where family wounds are named without pretending they are simple. Thank you for watching.